No big deal. As usual, there was the hype, the overpromotion, the building of suspense, only to end like a deflated balloon at the end of a not-so-great party. For days, weeks, all we've heard was that there was going to be a big meeting in Alaska that would be the beginning of the end of the Russian war against Ukraine. Anyone who has followed the actions of the president for more than a few days could see that this meeting was nothing more than another distraction from his many self-inflicted wounds, not the least of which is the Epstein files. He had hoped that by rolling out the red carpet for Putin, a man who cannot leave his country for fear of being arrested for his many war crimes, would somehow take our attention away from the other issues, such as lying about the Epstein files, the negative ramifications of his tariffs, the massive increases in our debt as a result of the big, beautiful bill, or the mass thugs that he sent into our cities solely to scare us. He has plenty of failures from which he wants to avoid talking about. You almost can't blame him, were it not for the fact that these are all unforced errors. From the Huffington Post of August 14th, and I quote, "Let me go back about a week or so, or 10 days, when Trump started to say to everyone who would listen, and everyone listens to Donald Trump, to staffers on the phone calls, the relentless phone calls that he constantly is making," he said. "I need a big thing. I need a big thing," Wolf said on his Daily Beast podcast. Inside Trump's head. What's the big thing that Wolf is asked rhetorically? And everyone understood that this was code for "I need a distraction from Epstein." What's the thing that will move us beyond that? Deploying troops to Washington, D.C. apparently hasn't worked in that regard, and the possibility of zeroing in on progressive mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani didn't gain traction either, Wolf said. The next solution? Playing off the summit, which Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky doubts will make progress. Trump will pull the U.S. out of involvement in the war, Wolf predicted. He's going to sacrifice Ukraine for Epstein, Wolf said. Essentially, this is, in his mind, a trade. It is the MAGA people who have pressed the Epstein issue constantly. I mean, they are the threat. But that won't work either, Wolf predicted. The meeting in Alaska was the sequel to the meeting that was held on February 25th, 2025, in the Oval Office, in which Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, you will recall that this meeting was designed to set up Zelensky and portray him as a failure. Quote, "You have no cards to play," Trump had told him, attempting to belittle Zelensky. At that time, in that room, only one person knew that he had a card to play. A few weeks later, Zelensky authorized an impressive drone attack on the Russian military base and destroyed a third of Russia's planes. The result of this attack was not only humiliating to Putin, but also to Trump. Zelensky made fools of both of them. So it only stands to reason that Trump would set up a meeting with Putin to throw Zelensky and Ukraine under the bus. Now think back to 2011, when the White House Correspondents' Dinner, when then-President Barack Obama picked on Donald Trump. Trump has never recovered from that night. He cannot laugh at himself, as he has no sense of humor. He's so insecure and petty that he recently had President Obama's portrait moved to a place where few can see it. He loves dishing it out, but he can't take it. Humiliating others is his trademark, but turn the tables and he becomes unglued. Think about how the past 7.5 months have transformed America, and not in a good way. Think about how this president has now sent military into D.C., supposedly to reduce crime, even though violent crime is down 35%. This action was done for only one reason. That is to distract us again. It has nothing to do with at all with reducing crime that is already lower than it's been in the past. For a complete list of distractions that we've been subjected to, visit this site, and you'll have to get that in writing because it's a hyperlink. It's breathtaking to see the great lengths that this man has gone through and is continuing to go through to keep us from doing a deeper dive into the reality that he has created. From threatening to imprison Barack Obama to suing Rupert Murdoch, the past 8 months have been nothing more than blatant attempts to have us look at the shiny object versus the reality that this one man and his Project 2025 co-conspirators have foisted upon us. The meeting in Alaska was never about achieving peace. Had that been the case, the underlings would have been working hard over the past months to put a real deal together for all three leaders to sign. No, this was just more performative politics designed to entertain us, but never really accomplishing anything. Trump did accomplish one thing, however. He was able to elevate Vladimir Putin, the man who he is beholden to, on the world stage. I'm Bob Stannard, and this is The View from My Place.